Hello everyone, and welcome to Video Game Cliffnotes, hosted by Nerdy But Flirty's very own Emily. Now, I'm here to tell you to break down all of these games for you so that you don't have to be embarrassed by calling Link Zelda. Whoops! So, what is this Assassin's Creed video game series? Well, it's basically bad versus good. The bad side, we have the Templars. Boo! On the good side, we have the Assassins. Yay! But we watch all of this through the eyes of Desmond. Now, Desmond comes from a long line of assassins and maybe a few Templars, but they're in there. And he is basically watching all of this through an animus, which is a machine which allows him to access his ancestors' memories. Now, that's where we come in. The original Assassin's Creed is Altair, which is Desmond's great, so on and so forth, great grandfather. That's the first Assassin's Creed. Then we have the second Assassin's Creed, in which we swap Altair for Ezio, and we swap a medieval time period for the Renaissance, which is fabulous. It's just awesome. Really amazing gameplay. It doesn't stop there. We move on to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed Revelation, all of which follow the story of Ezio, who, if you remember, is the main character in Assassin's Creed 2. That's called the Ezio Trilogy. So, we are playing through Desmond, who's a machine, to watching his ancestor. There's a whole chain of people between us and the actual events. After the Ezio trilogy, we move on to Assassin's Creed 3, in which we move forward in time to the American Revolution. Now that's pretty sweet in and of itself, but we first are introduced to Haytham, and how Haytham is a Templar, and he's Desmond's great grandfather. Maybe not that many greats. But anyway, he's Connor, because that's what he gets called in the game. Now, Connor is a Native American, but in the third Assassin's Creed, what's really cool is we start getting into environmental effects. So we get to start using things like trees and tall grass to blend in and hide, which is pretty sweet. So we're not just limited to architectural structures. And, drumroll please, we have Assassin's Creed 4 after that. Now Assassin's Creed 4 is pirates! Yay! So we got a taste of naval combat in the third one, but in the fourth one, about 70% the guy said that most of it will take place in the water. So we have things like naval combat, we swim, we explore islands, we find buried treasure. It's all very cool. So to recap that, we have Assassin's Creed, Altair, medieval time periods. Assassin's Creed 2, Renaissance time period, Ezio. Branching off of the second one, we have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which is also Ezio, later in the Renaissance. And off of that, we have Assassin's Creed Revelations, which is still Ezio, and we're still in the Renaissance. Back to the first hand, we're in Assassin's Creed 3, and that's Connor, and he's in the American Revolution, so we're getting a little bit closer to us. And Assassin's Creed 4, which is actually before the third one, but it's the fourth in the series. The sixth overall, but the fourth in the series. That one is pirates. So what else is there in the Assassin's Creed world? Well, actually, there's a handful of other games, smaller games, offshoots of the larger six, that are available. What else is there in the Assassin's Creed world? Well, we have a handful of other games, and novels, and films, actually. They have films, which is Ubisoft's first step into the filmmaking world. And there are also a boatload of comic books. In concurrence with the fourth one, a serialized manga is being released, and it started back in August to follow along with the storyline. Now, Assassin's Creed is pretty prevalent in a lot of video games today. So we have unlockable items actually in TF2, Little Big Planet, and Soul Calibur 5, actually, if you'll believe it or not. You have some playable characters in the Wii game, too. You can unlock Ezio. And very much, Ezio has become a very popular cosplay to do as well, because a lot of people like the idea of sneaky, 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 stab! Sneaky, 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 stab! Assassin's Creed is available on all the major Assassin's Creed games, 1, 2, 3, 4, Brotherhood, and Revelations, are all available on the Xbox 360 and the PS3. They're also all available on the Windows operating system. Now there's a handful of offshoot games, one of which is on the PSP, one of which is on the Vita, one of which is on the DS, and a handful are all mobile applications, which is pretty sweet, so you can take your sneaky stab to go! That's it for this episode of Video Game Cliff Notes. Don't forget to leave a comment below, giving a suggestion for what you'd like to see next, and if you like it, don't be afraid to hit that like button, and maybe even the subscribe button.